Good day to our viewers and listeners. Welcome from us at Exness to another exciting episode with my co-host and colleague Sihle Tuta, our commercial director for South Africa, and myself, Terence Hove, senior financial market strategist over at Exness. And today we're going to be talking about a very intriguing topic. For us here based in Sub-Saharan Africa, the question is, how is it we've been so successful as a multi-asset global brokerage firm in Africa? We've had some tremendous awards that we've shared off and spoken about in previous episodes. So today, Sihle and myself, we're going to be talking about what it means and what it looks like doing business in Africa and how to be successful doing it. Sihle, how are you doing, mate?
Good in yourself, Terence. How are you doing, man?
I'm very well. I think this episode today is going to put you on the spotlight for today, and in the other episodes when our colleagues join, we'll put them on the spotlight. But you've been very successful, in managing the South Africa entity at South Africa and at Exness, and South Africa is a very lucrative market, for brokers, but very difficult to succeed in at the same time. And what has been the ingredients of your success?
I'm not sure if we want to give away our blueprint here, but in this particular industry, right, what usually happens, somebody with a great idea, with the willpower, the knowledge and the experience will start a broker, in this case a multi-asset broker, in a specific country, right? Obviously, as the business grows and as the company, sees some success, there's going to be some appetite for global expansion, right? Usually, maybe let's say if the company was started in Cyprus or wherever, right, there'll be some appetite for expansion into the MENA region, into LATAM, into the Middle East, into maybe sometimes the Americas, and obviously, as I say, which is Sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, that's the normal route that most businesses follow whenever they see that they're growing. I mean, every entrepreneur, every CEO who started a business, especially like this one, wants to see the business expanding globally.
Right.
Now, it has been recorded in most industries that this part of the world, which is Sub-Saharan Africa, is obviously one of the steps that a company that operates in this industry wants to take to obviously grow their footprint.
Right.
Sub-Saharan Africa obviously includes most of the countries in Africa where brokers who are licensed can accept clients from. Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, basically all the spectrum of countries in Africa. Now, doing business in Africa requires, or succeeding right in Africa, requires a slightly different approach compared to all the other regions of the world. I think the first thing you need to do, obviously, is to assess the market or the audience if they have an appetite for the product that you're offering. So in our case, CFDs or the brokerage, forex brokerage industry, definitely the industry is growing, the market is there. There are players that are coming in almost on a monthly basis. All the big players are targeting SSA or Africa, if you like. I think the first thing, so that's the first thing. You need to establish that the market is there and that we know it's there. Otherwise, all these players wouldn't be coming to Africa.
Yeah.
I think there's a big appetite for trading in Africa. And I think the second thing you need to do, which I think we've gotten right, is to understand the cultural nuances in all the sub-regions.
Yes, that's a very important point, yes.
Yes, it's very important to understand and grasp all the cultural nuances if you're going to succeed in that part of the world.
Right.
Now, as an example, we have teams. In 95% of the cases, you find that the people who are looking after our clients and our partners in that part of the world are people who understand the cultural dynamics in that part of the world very intimately.
Right.
They speak the language, they understand the needs of traders and partners in that region, and they are on the ground meeting and interacting with traders and partners on a regular basis. Okay, like we have here in South Africa. We are here in South Africa. We live here in South Africa. We understand what the needs of South African traders are very intimately. I mean, we make it our business.
Yeah.
This is just an example in the Exness context, right?
Yeah.
So taking it a step further, so once you've understood the needs, obviously the next logical thing is to ask yourself, what am I now going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because once you've identified the needs, you know, when I was in school, when we were studying marketing, we were told that marketing is not about selling products. It's not about advertising.
Yeah.
It's about researching client needs and finding the best way to satisfy these needs.
Yeah.
Which I think in our niche or in our industry, that is what we've done very well as Exness. We've tried to identify what traders' needs are, not just globally, but I mean in the context of SSA. And then we've tried to tailor our products to satisfy these needs, both from a retail trading point of view and also from a partnership and affiliate point of view. I think that is primarily the reason why we've been so successful in this region. We've been able to segment the market very well and then tailor our products and offerings to satisfy all these different market segments. As an example, we've got the Premier program, right, which caters for what you would like to call premium clients. So these are clients who obviously trade differently. They trade bigger volumes. They tend to have a more risk appetite, and they tend to spend more money. And as a result, they sort of expect and appreciate a different approach when it comes to client relationship management. So we have a team that does that, and we have got Miso, who heads that team on the continent. He looks after, in the banking industry, it's what you would call private banking. Right. But obviously, we treat all our clients the same. Yes. We treat them with the same level of fairness, but there is a segment of what we call high-value clients because of their trading behavior, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things that I've also appreciated, like, you know, to that point you made of the different cultural nuances, you know, is your team, for example. I mean, when people, you know, from the outside looking in, and you look at South Africa, they just see it as this one massive market, just singular. But, you know, we know that, you know, there's also so many different aspects to it. I mean, we've got 11 official languages in South Africa. And those languages speak to very strong cultures, you know, in South Africa. And you've created quite a dynamic team being able to thrive in the midst of all of that. And how is it managing such a culturally diverse team, putting it together, and still getting everyone to achieve the same goal?
So I think when the vision and the common goal, if these are communicated very clearly and everybody understands why they are part of the team, we have this thing called you're in the club or you're part of the club. Right. So if you looked at Exness as a club, right, there are some requirements you have to meet to be in the club. Right. And being in the club requires for you to understand what the global vision and the global goal of the business is or are. And then you have to now simplify it to fit your region to help you meet its goals where you are. We are a multicultural business, right? We're a global multicultural company which does business in most parts of the world. We take clients, obviously, from most of the countries where we're licensed to, right? Which is going to attract people from different cultures, different backgrounds who speak different languages. And as much as we speak all these different languages, right, we have a common goal, which really guides us towards the common objective. Right. To make an example, in South Africa, there are 11 official languages, right? As much as we don't do business in all the official languages, but we are able to converse in the important ones,
Right.
which is obviously English as a global language of business. We have isiZulu. We have people who speak isiZulu in the team. We've got Afrikaans. We've got a few Afrikaans clients, and we're able to help them in their language. We've got Sotho, we've got Sepedi, we've got Xhosa. I mean, if you go to our customer support, right, at last count, I think you are able to get assistance in the language of your preference. We don't obviously cover all the global languages, but I think it's up to 32.
Wow.
I stand to be corrected. Languages that you can be sort of assisted in, depending in which part of the world you're from. And our support is 24/7. So you can basically jump on live chat any time of the day, and you will get support in a language which comes from your part of the world, right? So it's challenging, but also exciting, because you get to work and engage with people from different parts of the world who come from different cultural backgrounds, right? Which is what makes us unique, right? The cultures that are represented within the Exness community are as diverse as the number of hair, in your head.
Wow.
So that's very important to keep in mind and to manage very well if you are going to succeed as a business in the continent.
Yeah. One thing, I mean, a random question. How many languages do you speak?
So I speak English.
Yes.
I speak Zulu.
Yes.
I speak Xhosa.
Wow. Okay.
And a little bit of Sotho. So we'd say 3.5.
3.5. Yeah, about 3.5.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. I mean, 3.5 is quite a lot more than the usual one, and especially being in a place where you've got 11 different languages, so you can converse to the different audiences, at whichever level that they need that conversation to be. One individual we don't often speak of or celebrate or mention is our regional director, Paul Margaritis. I mean, he has obviously an even higher level of complexity with regards to managing the entire region, managing all the different cultures and subcultures within the different spaces. And I think it'll be great to hear from the horse's mouth, one of these episodes as well. But I certainly know when I started, he had a lot less gray hair then than he has now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to get me for that statement, but he's done a tremendous job in just banding us together and gelling us together as a team. I mean, you interact with him, I mean, close to every day. And what would you say have been some of the key highlights to the success of managing such a culturally diverse region and team as well?
So running a team or managing a team as diverse as the one we have, it obviously requires you to understand, like I said, the different cultural nuances. It requires you to have this special skill of being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Right? Which I think is something that he does very well. I mean, he's an amazing leader. I just cannot imagine someone else doing what he does like he does.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons, or one of the important reasons for any business to succeed, especially in this industry, is to have good leadership.
Yeah.
And that is one thing we have. From the top, the CEO, to the chief business development officer, to head of, we have an amazing team.
Yeah.
And it comes down right to our regional leadership, Paul, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
It comes obviously with the territory. There's a lot of traveling involved because we don't, just run. He doesn't run the team sitting in his office or sitting at home in his study. He actually does a lot of traveling, just like how we do at our level.
Yeah,
we travel a lot because we want to engage with our traders and our partners on a face-to-face basis, which is why we have all these events that we stage all over the continent and all these expos that we attend. There's a lot of traveling involved, which obviously in the case of somebody who has a family, it means that it takes away a little bit from your family time or your personal time. But I think it's something that we really enjoy, and it doesn't feel like a job. So whenever we're traveling with clients and with partners, or we're traveling to meet with our clients and to meet with our partners across the continent, it feels like, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, some of these clients, some of these partners have almost become like acquaintances, right?
Yeah.
Because we work closely
Right.
on a regular basis.
Right.
So I think, I mean, there's a lot that we can talk about on what it takes to succeed with doing business in Africa. But I think at the top is obviously the people.
Yeah.
How you engage with people, how you understand them, and how you understand their cultures. Because, when you take the effort to understand people and their cultures, I think, they tend to reward you with their hard-earned money. And by that I mean more than just being at a transaction. But if I'm selling something, if I have an offering, and you can see that I've put in the effort in understanding you and your needs and your culture and your background, and then approach the offering accordingly, I think you're more likely to be more open to doing business with me.
Right.
And I think that is exactly what we've done. We are basically a global company with a local presence.
Right.
I think that's the way to explain it.
Yeah.
We're a global company with a local presence. We speak the local language wherever you are on the continent.
Wow, that's remarkable. And I mean, that's a big, I think, success factor, that, global entity that has a local, presence, and not just the local presence as being there, but we speak the language, we walk the talk, and we go the extra mile to ensure that our clients are indeed heard. And as you mentioned, internally as well, being part of that Exness ethos, being part of the club, as club members, are adhering to the rules and regulations of, your business etiquette, your professionalism, and, all of those right ingredients that we've seen coming across from our different colleagues to make this a very successful region and a very successful story for Exness as well, And what would be your parting words, to say, especially when we look at our Exness partners, for example, because that's a business within a business, in their different parts of Africa that they're out there, what's that golden nugget that you could impart to them for them to... What's that golden nugget that you can impart to them, for them to be able to build and continue building, successful partnership businesses with Exness?
Terence, I think even before I get to the golden nugget for partners, I think, as a responsible corporate citizen in this country, or even at a global scale, because that's one of the things that I think differentiates one company from the rest. So we are a responsible global citizen, right? Meaning that in all the markets we operate in, we don't just take, right? We give back.
We give back.
CSR, corporate social responsibility. We actually have an entire division, a CSR division, and people who do that, because we realize that we have to give back. We have to empower. So as an example, in South Africa, we have the scholarship with UCT, where we sponsor students on full scholarship, students who are in maths and sciences, mathematics. We sponsor them with their fees, with accommodation, with their meals. It's full sponsorship. It's something that we piloted, I think, a year or two ago, and it's been going very well, and we're looking at doing it again. I mean, we sponsor a couple of local events, and across the world. I mean, I know in Cyprus, I think we were involved in with the local fire department there, where we gave away those big extinguishers.
Yeah.
So we give back, and it's something we do on an annual basis. I mean, there are students who not just in South Africa, I mean, even in Cyprus, who are beneficiaries of the Exness scholarship, which is something that we take seriously.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're looking at improving and growing in the years to come, because we realize that without the communities in which we operate, who now become our traders and partners, we wouldn't be where we are as a business. So it is our responsibility to ensure that we give back. I think any responsible company actually should do that, should put some budget aside for corporate social responsibility work.
Yeah.
Now, back to your question, I think the partnership business, so when we talk about partnership, we've got two models at Exness. We've got the IB model, which is the introducing broker, which is somebody who makes it their business to introduce clients to Exness. Then these clients will then sign up for an Exness trading account using a special link, which links them to this guy whom we call an introducing broker. So once these clients start trading, then we share our spread revenue with them up to 40%.
Okay.
The second one is what we call an affiliate. An affiliate usually operates on the online community. There's somebody who could be running a blog, running a website, or running some sort of online platform. And the traffic comes as a result of somebody sitting from anywhere, whether they saw a blog or an article or whatever, and then they come to their website, and as a result, they end up opening a trading account. So usually affiliates don't have any personal contact with their clients. And affiliates and CPA, cost per acquisition. So depending on which country the traffic comes from, I think for a deposit or for a qualified deposit based on the requirements and the conditions of what the affiliate department seems as a qualified deposit, then you get paid a once-off payment, which is called CPA. So that requires a concerted effort into ensuring that you are visible in front of the audience that you're targeting. It's a business on its own.
Yes, it's a business.
On the IB side, you obviously need to farm and look after all these clients who have become your clients on behalf of Exness. On the affiliation side, you are just basically the catalyst that draws the traffic. From whichever source to Exness. You have no personal communication or contact with the client. So these are the two models. And the guys, thousands of them across the world, who have mastered these models are actually earning lucrative income. And they're doing well. I mean, there's information available online from multiple sources on how to succeed as a partner. If any of our viewers want to, gain more information and learn more on how to become an Exness partner, they can visit exnessaffiliates.com.
Right.
And that site is a library of information on how you can go about and some of the brand assets that you can use on your online platforms to promote your brand. So exnessaffiliates.com is your first place to start, and then you can engage with us further, after that.
No, well, there you have it, our friends and our audience out there. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've found insights and value in this discussion on doing business in Africa, how Exness has managed to get it right, and how we continue to be successful in doing business in Africa. Remember, you can also reach out to Sihle Tuta if you'd like or are interested in pursuing an affiliate program with Exness, as is mentioned how it works, or if you'd like to join our partnership program, which is our introducing broker program at Exness. It's a business on its own, but with leadership such as Sihle, you will definitely be able to get you going sooner than you know. So please remember to follow us across our different socials, like, comment, would like to hear what you think. And if there are any ideas or thoughts you'd like us to discuss, you are more than welcome to drop it in the comment, and we are definitely looking and reading all of those. So from Sihle and myself, it's bye for now.
Cheers.